Artisan's mobile experience management platform. This actually went generally available on November 4th. And today we'll be providing an overview of 4 components of the platform. The first component of the mobile experience management platform is Analyze. We'll also be demonstrating Optimize, Personalize, and as well as Canvas. And so I'll provide you a brief overview of each one of those capabilities, and then I'll turn the call over to Scott, and he will actually walk you through the platform itself. So to get started, I'll start with Analyze. And Analyze gives you the ability to track every user interaction without writing code or tagging screens. So we believe that that's a key differentiator in the marketplace today by simply dropping the SDK in. And with that, you get 4 real main components with Analyze. First is to automatically collect all data without, again, having to tag. The second aspect is being able to build goals and understand where users are falling off in their purchase funnel, what screens tend to have a greater traction than others. The third capability is what we refer to as event tagging. And event tagging allows you to associate a specific user behavior with a certain element within your native app. And what that means is, for example, you can associate a price point with a checkout action, or you can associate a SKU number with an add to cart action. And finally, user segmentation. Within Analyze, you can drill down much deeper and understand things like the age of your users or the particular gender. So that's Analyze. The second capability that we'll be demonstrating today is what we call Optimize. And Optimize is our A/B testing platform. And simply put, Optimize allows you to take all the capabilities that are known on the web and run those in a native app. So that means being able to optimize buttons, change the color of buttons, move the location of a button on a particular screen, the ability to experiment with different text or call to action, the ability to experiment with different images as well. So again, all the capabilities that we're very familiar with from the web, Artisan has brought to the actual native app itself. The third capability that Scott will be demonstrating today is Personalize. And Personalize allows you to define specific user segments for your personalization capabilities. So for example, you can use anything from as simple as gender or age or location to much more advanced things like loyalty levels, being able to deliver different user experiences based upon purchasing history is another example, or more advanced capabilities that you can use Personalize for. The second main area of Personalize is what we refer to as instant publishing. And for those new to Artisan, one of the key things that we enable our customers to do is to make rapid changes to your app without having to write code or without having to resubmit to an app store. And instant publishing is really the most fundamental example of that. So for example, if you just wanted to change a sentence or change an image for a particular segment, you can just go into the platform, make that change, and then instantly push that out to your entire user base or to a particular community within your user base. And again, Scott will show you how to do that in just a little bit. So that's Personalize. The fourth capability that we're going to be sharing with you today is what we refer to as Canvas. And Canvas is really the drawing board. Canvas is where you're able to make these very easy point-and-click changes to the app. So again, there won't be any coding done today at all. And Scott will be able to demonstrate to you simple things as, again, changing just the wording in a sentence to more advanced things, and changing the color of an image or the actual image itself. And then, of course, being able to push that out to multiple users, either within a certain community or across your entire user base. And so with that, I think we are ready to start our demonstration. So I'll turn the screen controls over to Scott. And everyone, Scott Wasserman, Founder, Chief Technology Officer of Artisan.
Hey, it's Scott. Thanks for joining us today, and I'm excited to show you some of the stuff we released into GA last week. I'm going to start with our analytics. And as Dave mentioned, as soon as our SDK is in an application, we're going to start collecting every event, gesture, and other details about what type of device, how long people have stayed in a session, whether they're new returning users. So I'm going to hop right now into some of the reports that you'll be able to see. And again, this is all without any coding. This is the standard new versus returning users. But we can also break this down by different segments now. These are things that we're automatically recording while we're in your SDK, or excuse me, with our SDK in your application. So say I wanted to look at the iPhone users. I could actually update and see how things look on these charts for the users that are iPhone 4. And again, you can actually set up your own custom segments, and in a more advanced class we can go into that. The other thing that's really useful is seeing the length of sessions and the average session and number of sessions here. You can see there's on our dashboard here easily how long your users are staying, how many sessions they're doing, and see a historical record of that. You can also break down the different devices that people are using. You can see here everything from iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone 4S. So on the Android side, you have a much bigger selection. And then one of the more interesting things here is every button or link that's clicked inside of your application, we're automatically tracking that. And you can see historically what your users have been, how users have been interacting with your app, and see this over time. And again, all these reports can be broken down by segment or a custom date range, last 30 days. The next thing I'm going to show you is goals, and this allows you to set up a funnel of events in your application. So I'm going to click on here, and say I wanted to track how a person navigates through an application and does a checkout. Over to the right here, I have a demo application that we've set up just to show some of these examples. So I'm creating a new goal here called checkout flow, and I am literally just going to navigate through the application. And you can see over to the left here, it's automatically learning where I'm tapping. Now, let's say I don't want this initial tap here. I can remove that. And I can click on Buy Now and Submit Payment. Again, I can remove any of these. And I'm going to stop recording. And now we're going to be going forward. We're going to be able to show you everything that how this broke down in your goals. but also this will work retroactively. I'm going to show you an example of some goals that have already been set up and what this looks like. So when this is populated with data, you'll be able to see these different steps and how far along the users made it through your goal funnel, and be able to target where the drop-off is. You can see the details here, and how the users made it through. The next thing I'm going to show you is our personalization and create, where you can live edit your application and also personalize to different user segments.
And as Scott migrates into that part of the platform, I encourage everyone, if you have any questions, to please send them over on chat, and towards the end of the call, we'll try and get to as many of those as possible.
So right now I'm entering, we call it like an interactive mode with this application. You can see over to the left here what we call the app map, and you can see all the screens and interactions and flow through the application. I'm going to do a quick change to this screen here. Say I wanted to change this little starburst. Now I'm on the screen. You can see this is what we call the canvas. I actually have access to every one of the elements here. I want to do something like simple, like change a color. I can actually do that, and you can see it's changing live here in the application. But if I want to do something maybe a little bit more complex, like change this starburst here, I can just drag and drop it into the canvas. You can see it updated right here in the application. Can also create some personalizations. Say I wanted a different color for an iPhone 4 user. Now this could be any type of personalization. It could be on age, gender, purchasing habits, but just for simplicity, I'm going to create a segment here just for the iPhone 4. And you can see here over to the left, there's under personalizations a default, which everyone will get, and then there's one for the iPhone 4, which is back to my original design. I could even set this up so that the iPhone 4 gets this blue design here. When I click this publish button, this will automatically push this new design out to all of the users that are using the application. And the next time they go in and out of the application, they're going to see that new design that I just pushed in there. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to create an experiment. And I'm going to take the same element again. This, you can see this is green. This is the element that I pushed in and published in my previous step. You can see over to the left here now, instead of personalizations, we have our variations. There's a control, a variation, and then I can also add as many other variations as I like. Once again, let's do an example of changing that starburst. And maybe for our variation, we're going to try the yellow starburst. Again, we can look at there's the control and our variation. Again, we have direct access to any of the text, images. We can move all this around, even change the wording or the color of these buttons. Next thing I'm going to do is click on Ready to Test. And this allows me to completely configure how this experiment is going to be distributed to users. I can set the duration. Let's just, for demo here, we'll do it for 3 days. Send this to 100 users. We can also target experiments based on different segments. In this case, say you wanted to do a segment that was geo-targeted or targeted to males of or females of a certain age range. We can do that, and then we can evenly distribute these designs, or just for the sake of a demo here, I'm going to click on Distribute Manually and force our new design to show up. And every experiment has a end goal. So it could be that you want users to stay in your application more than you know, a certain number of seconds or minutes, or it could be that you want to trigger it based on an interaction. And this interaction doesn't necessarily have to even be on the screen. So maybe I want to get to make this submit payment my final goal. And all I have to do is, you can see over here, we're learning where we were touching and set goal. And now when the users that are targeted in this experiment see that screen and then click on that submit payment button, we'll register that as a successful conversion. So I'm going to click on Save Experiment now. We can also go and see the different variations. Here, there's the original and the change. And I'm going to click on Start Experiment. And now that's going to push this experiment out to all the users that I've targeted here. And this is without going back through the App Store. The next time they come into the application, they're going to get this new design. And I'm going to show you that here.
So Scott's using a simulator for the demonstration today, but this would be exactly the same on any actual handheld device.
And you can see the new yellow starburst is there, and my changes that I made in our Create product, all living on the screen now live. Again, the user didn't have to update their application. We didn't have to republish to the App Store. It's just happening in real time.
Great, thanks, Scott. So in summary, what we've learned so far today is we went through Analyze, where we saw the automatic event collection capabilities. Again, just simply dropping the SDK in. There's no tagging or anything like that that's required, so you're able to go back and retroactively recreate funnels and goals based upon user behavior that we've been collecting all along. We also talked about tagging, being able to associate a specific user action with a specific piece of your app or element of your app, really anything part of the UI. And then we migrated over into personalize and optimize, and we showed you know, how easy it is. Again, the mobile experience management platform is really targeted to the marketer, to the product manager, to the business analyst who wants to be able to make real-time decisions and optimizations to their native app. And certainly you saw our capabilities as it relates to being able to deliver, you know, unique user experiences, if it's just for regular production or if it's actually to experiment with different looks and feels and seeing which really drives the performance of the app itself. So with that, Scott, we do have a few questions that came over during your demonstration. The first one is, can you walk us through what is involved with getting started with the SDK and on the platform?
Sure. So the first step is signing up for an account. It's really quick and easy. And registering an app from our back end, which you see here, it's all web-based. Downloading our SDK and drag and dropping that into your application. And then from there, you can register Artisan one place in your code, and you're ready to go. You can jump in and do exactly what we did today.
Cool. The next question is there or what is the impact to the user experience in terms of having the SDK in the app?
There is no impact from having the SDK in. It's under 2 megs in size, and our mantra is do no harm to your application. We're making these changes on the fly, and they're all cached locally, so this is not being pulled from the cloud every time you view your screen.
Next one is, this is an easy one. Does Artisan support Android?
Yes, we do. And there's a pretty close correlation to all the features you saw here for iOS and for Android.
And looks like the last one is, what if I want to do A/B testing for navigation? I assume that means something other than just a single screen design.
So we have a API in our SDK. That's a lot of acronyms there, but we allow your development team to be able to do A/B testing inside of your code. If you want to try very different workflows or even add new features, you can do that once in the code and remotely control those experiments, just like we saw here.
Great. Well, that's all of our questions. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. I hope it was short, sweet, and to the point. And please join us next week. We'll be having a call focused on improving your key performance indicators or the overall business performance of your app, and how you can use particularly A/B testing to improve the overall revenue performance and user retention in your app. Until then, again, thanks a lot for joining, and we'll speak to you again next week. Bye.
Thank you.